Is that where you see yourself just dying? You know?
No, remember the asteroid that's supposed to come and kill us all?
Do you
And
remember the
treading what
Aztecs
was
that said we
once
were supposed to
hallowed
die? Like,
ground, human. Whatever your purpose coming
I know,
here,
but
it is
they've
kind.
been
Go back to your
like
settlement.
calculating
No
target
surprise. Your
the
kind
where
are
it's
always
gonna hit
speaking,
and everything.
never listening. That is why so.
so
You
did the
say
Aztecs
you've
for
come to see me,
probably 1,000 years
but
before we
I
were
see
even
only
thought of.
darkness dwelling behind your. The actions of your kind of. You are
I
Look
know,
how
wise.
they
but
It
did.
is the
I know, but
evil
it
of
still
the
scares
flow of.
me.
Very well.
Bible said that the world was supposed to end how many years ago?
True.
Well, I'll put it to you this way: when the whole Earth goes through a shaking and the sky recedes like a fire, like almost like a curtain, like when you move the curtain. Well, and the sun turns dark, and the moon, the sun doesn't give off as much light. The stars, besides the comet, stars fall from the sky. Yeah, we are pretty close to that. Oh, I forgot to mention people disappearing. Yeah, we're really close to that, by the way. That's why there's someone named Jesus Christ. And he mentioned a long time ago, repent, for the kingdom of heaven is at hand. So the repentance is a. I mean, when we play a game and we have like an army versus another army, God's army is way more than Earth's army. so, so it's like you're better off like putting up the white flag already and say, okay, I give up. Anyways, yeah, he's looking for people to change their ways. It's a serious thing. It's no joke, man. People can mock it, but they did it with when the flood happened, and there's historical evidence that
They did it when the Romans fell. They did it when Mormonism became existence.
yeah,
It's all market.
I
I'm
wouldn't
not.
say it's all more.
I'm not disagreeing with religion. I'm just saying that, and what you just said
yeah,
was religion is based on, as of right now, technology. As in, people look at their technological devices.
yeah,
It's not spiritual anymore. If that makes any sense.
sure,
There's too much. There's no sitting down having a cup of coffee or juice and BSing. It's they're glued to their phones, and that's. Um, this sounds really bad, but if you watch, there's a TV show. It's a and it's dark and but it makes sense if you watch the whole. Actually, there's certain clips you can watch, but there's one clip where um um Odin comes down and is fighting another god, and the god is technology because the world is being taken over by technology. Like you're looking at your phone, you're looking at a screen, you're not communicating with another man. You're just in that zone. Like you,
yeah,
30 30% of marriages are corrupted by your cell phone,
yeah,
and that sounds terrible. But 40% of, or no, was it 20 28%? of marriages are being boosted by technology, i.e., people meeting online.
Or you gotta add to that artificial intelligence.
Artificial intelligence is gonna ruin society because you don't know what's real and what's not real.
Yeah, that's like the ultimate technology right there.
But there, what is that? I was watching. What the hell is it? Um, American Gods.
What was that?
It's
Some kind of a series or something?
Yeah, it's a series, but it's pretty. It's crude, but it makes you think. Like, there's, it's a TV show, so you're gonna get this BS of this, and this. But realistically, if you really think about what is going on in the world right now, it's true, and it's sad that it's true. I had a conversation with a friend of mine today. He's a cop in our town, and he's like, "Why don't you go to church?" I'm like, I don't. I believe in God. I believe in something. I don't know what it is, but I don't believe in what your God is. But I believe in your God, but I don't believe in it. I don't know. I'm agnostic. I don't know.
Yeah.
And he's like, well, why don't you come to our church? I was like, because I don't pray with snakes. And he's like, well, what is that supposed to mean? And I explained where his pastor came from and the things that I've seen in his church. I'm like, I just don't think that's my place to be at. If you want to come over to my house and have dinner and talk about God or Odin or uh, Beelzebub or whoever you want to talk about, I'm all ears, except last one.
Except what?
Sorry, I was speaking really fast. I said Beelzebub. And that was the devil.
Oh,
I was just talking. But
okay.
I'm all ears about religion. I love learning about religion. I love learning about religion. Do I think your religion's right? Probably, maybe. I don't know. Do I want to learn about it? Yeah. You start bringing dark forces in my house, I don't want to do that. But if you want to talk about the happy times, uh, what's the word I'm looking for? The gods about Earth or the Greek mythology and all that. I'm all about learning,
Yeah.
but there's certain times in certain places, like
All right. That's right.
do I think that Catholicism is true? Yes, and then no. Do I think that the Roman Empire fell? No, it became Vatican. Um, do I believe that? Yes, no, maybe so. I don't know. I wasn't there. And that's my problem with all religions. Is I wasn't there. I'm not an interpretation. I didn't interpret the Bible. I don't read Hebrew. I can't interpret that. And the original Bible was written in Hebrew. I didn't interpret that. So if I don't have the original Bible, how do I interpret that to my own thoughts? If that makes sense.
It does.
I'm trusting somebody else to interpret it for me. Does that make sense?
Well, everything you've been saying so far has been an eye opener to understand.
I live such a horrible life. I believe in God because there's not much to believe in.
Well, see, there's something
God
about
gives me hope.
yeah.
Agreed. I agree with that. And so I was asked the other day, do I believe in God? Yes, no, maybe so. I believe in something made us, and I don't think man has the comprehension or the ability to understand what he is. If that makes sense. Oh, you're getting wrecked over there. I'm watching your stream, sorry.
I'm gonna leave my guy right here.
But I don't think that man has the ability to understand what
Right.
something
Right.
of
I can say yes, and I agree to that. But there's also in history an account of a leader, of a man who was also, he was a leader. He was like a philosopher of the town that he was leading, and he came across this person named Jesus, and so that there was a conversation between the two, and that man said to him, to Jesus, you know, we know that God is with you because of the fact that you are. He didn't go into these particular details that I'm pointing out now. He said, you know, you are healing people. You people who are sick or diseased, people who are lame. Is that the right word? Crippled, and they can't walk. People who are blind, people who are deaf. You are. In other words, the short version that he said was, God wouldn't be with you, you know. I mean, no, because God is with you, you do all these things that we know that, you know, God's with you because these miracles, these things that you do. And so right off the bat, his answer was, you have to be born again to enter into something called the kingdom of heaven. So
can I
that conversation caused the man to say, well then, what? Does that mean I got to go in my mother's womb again to be born again? And so he's like, no, all of us, he said, what is born of the flesh is of flesh, and what is born of the spirit is of spirit. So basically we are called by our maker to be a spiritual being, but yet we have a soul inside. There's a soul, there's a spirit, and then we have a body. So my wife, she had an accident. She was, I think I told you about it. And she basically had a grand mal seizure, died, crossed over, had her encounter. That encounter for her led her to understand there's something more beyond the physical five senses of a human being. There's something more in life.
So I had a friend.
Yeah.
And actually, he was a great friend, and then something happened. Let me rephrase that. So he was an asshole, to be frank. And then we were installing some stuff in a basement, and they had a fish tank, and he got electrocuted. And I walking down the stairs. Hey, do you need anything? And he got ripped from the wall. And he got pulled to the stairs, pulled to the stairs. I was like, Mikey, you okay? And he's like, yeah, I got shocked. I'm like, well, are you okay? He's like, yeah, my chest really hurts. And he pulled his shirt off, and he had big handprints on his chest.
Oh, yes.
Okay, so, wow, it was about 3 years ago. I seen him. I was getting my hair cut, and the place didn't have. They only took cash, and so I had to go to a gas station or a bar. And the lady's like, "Hey, if you go over to this bar, you can get cash." So I pulled $20. So I was like, "Oh, okay." So I walk over to the bar and pull $20 out of the ATM. And I turn around, and he's sitting there, and he looks like crap. And he was drinking beer, and I'm like, "What the hell, Mikey?" Like, in my brain, I was like, "Hey, dude," and like, "Hey, Mikey, what's going on?" And he looked at me. He had no clue who I was. And I walked over and was like, hey, dude, Mikey, what's going on? Like, And he had no clue what I was talking about. He didn't know who I was, and I bought him a beer just to be nice. And so his ex-wife owned a real estate agent right next to the haircut place. And so I walked in, I was like, "Hey, what the hell's going on with Mikey?" And she's like, "He got in a bad car accident and got addicted to drugs and left her." And I'm like, "Are you serious? Like, I thought he was like doing really good. He found God and all this other stuff." And so when I first met Mikey, he didn't believe in God. He got in that electrical accident, he found God. He got in that car accident and lost faith and got really, really violent. And something happened in his brain. And so I don't know. Like,
What are you
there's
asking?
too
But
many.
but what are you asking me about that?
So there's like your wife found her side of that. Like she went from us. She found her spiritual side of that grand mal, right?
Mm-hmm.
I had a friend that found his spiritual side and then lost his spiritual side. But what happens in between that? Like, how do you like?
Well, um, basically, the short version, without going into a lot of detail, would be that in this world that we live in, there are unseen beings, beings,
Mm,
and those beings have been here before we were born. Those beings are basically demonic. They are not of God.
they are.
they were of God, but then they rebelled because of one amongst them, one amongst, meaning what I mean by that is before there was any evil, God had ten thousands upon I mean, so many. I guess maybe there was no number to it. A whole number of angelic creations that the Creator created before we came along. And then 1/3 of all of that, well, actually, among all of them, there was one particular one who was basically kind of like the lead person among them, almost like a president, but just for them kind of deal. And then, but this particular being,
You can call him by his name.
right, he used to be called Lucifer. So that Lucifer person, once God passed judgment on him, he transitioned from that morning star, transitioned to Satan. And then you had all these angels were convinced by him, and about a third, there was a war that happened in heaven before we existed. That war
Can I
happened.
pause you there for a second?
Yeah.
So if you look at example, I'm not dissing. I'm not
Dismissing?
yes,
Okay.
your religion. I respect your religion. I actually have more faith in Catholic.
Catholicism?
There we go.
Okay.
Than most. But if you look back at Norse mythology, and that's what everybody calls the same faith as or religion. Sorry. If you look at that same words, the same thing happened in Norse mythology as Catholicism.
Catholicism?
Thank you.
Sure.
Um, and what I was saying is all religions are about the same. They're just different names. If that makes sense. And I don't mean to in disrespect for any religion,
Oh, no.
but most religions, they're all about they all have the same meaning. They're just different names. the only problem, and it's the only problem I have with Catholicism is St. Patrick's Day
Yeah.
and the Crusaders. But any religion has blood on their hands, realistically.
Do you think religion, the word religion, do you think that's man-made or God-made?
Man-made.
Exactly.
I believe faith is God-made. But if you look at it as a person, as a being, I don't think man has the brain power to understand what God was trying to do, and I think
Do you
God made something. I think God made something, and He made Jesus, and I get that. But Jesus could have been. Hear me out. Don't.
I'm hearing you.
I think God made Jesus. I think God made Thor. I think God made Buddha.
But
And
remember,
God made that.
just remember
and-
that the God that you're talking about, there's a capital G that represents the true God, but then you have a lowercase g that represents a created being.
No, you see, I think you're missing my interpretation of that. I
Oh,
think,
okay.
The earth
Um,
of Canary Mine will
I think it's a language barrier and an idea barrier. That makes sense. I think they're all one God. They're just named something different for a language barrier. They're all the same. If you look back, look at Norse mythology, look at Catholicism, look at Buddha, look at Hinduism.
Yep.
I'm not gonna say the other one because I don't agree with that other one. Sorry, if someone disagrees with that, I apologize.
Okay.
Once again,
Um,
overcoming all.
The one in Iraq,
But your support will not be forgotten.
but they all have the same purpose. If you look deep enough in their writings
Yeah.
of an interpretation of it, if
We
you
are grateful
just
for
break
your
it down,
role in
they're all
restoring
the
the
same.
sanity.
They
Our
all
secret,
want the same
you have
thing.
done
They
your
all
part,
want
so-
one
but I
being.
warn you. The
You have
angry
the
earth
son
will
of that
not
being.
let them- You are
Yeah.
honest. Perhaps on that
Or
account I will make your
the daughter of that being.
angry earth.
And I'm speaking of Hinduism because the Hinduism has the female of the 6 arms.
Okay.
But they're all based on one person and a son that is fighting for your soul, and you're trying to protect you. Did that make sense? Or am I just like rambling? Because I do that once in a while. But
Well, I can tell you're really, really, really thinking
I'm
it
cur-
through. Really thinking
Well,
it
no-
through. And I'm hearing you.
oh, is there? Oh, sorry, I didn't even see that. Sorry.
See what? Oh, the folks talking on the chat?
Yeah, I got a guy, confused Santa. My thought is, after the Tower of Babylon gotta
Gotta
build all man everywhere, the form of convicted.
To their culture, to
culture.
make the transition to Christianity easier once it reached their region.
So yeah. So oh shit. Well, he's way up there. Oh shit. I'm sorry, confused Santa. Well, he was way up on top too.
What? Who?
Oh, so he started in Amy. Yeah, he's in Amy's. Sorry, I just seen this. This man is saying what I'm saying.
Okay.
All mythology
Have the
has the
same
same
basic concept.
Yeah.
One God above all others, lesser gods, i.e., angels. One here that was a hero to the people, and the son of the one God above all
That's
others.
what I was trying to say. Thank
Oh,
you, Confused Santa.
okay.
So realistic, that's what all religion is based off the same thing, and then
Right,
it's just
but
it's just names.
right, but if you look at lies as a power, lies, all lies. The whole idea of it all is to deceive anyone. So how do you discern amongst all the lowercase g o d s or religions of what is true compared to what is not true?
Hey,
You know, every religion has a thing in their religion about the flood.
Faith is a major key component, but
there was
is a major key component, but like there's a difference between the religious systems of our time today where there's no power of display from the creator. It's like a lot of people will say, well, prove it to me, for example.
Ezekiel 27 or 25:17.
And what does that say?
You will know I'm the Lord when I strike upon thee with great vengeance to be upon thee.
And what does that say? Oops.
You will know I'm the Lord when I strike upon thee with great vengeance.
I actually put the in the browser. I actually hit the unmute, so I was hearing a reverb.
Oh, sorry.
It's okay. Yeah.
So what I just vocated to you is the same thing that all I'm saying is different point of views. Maybe there's the same God. There's just interpretations of the same God.
Give me a sec. I'm reading Confused Santa's text. He said, I still believe Christianity as the truth, but how was it so easy for all old religions to easily convert to Christianity? I mean, the short version, the answer to that is because you got to go to the source of Christianity. Who is that source? Who is the source? There's only one name mentioned in the actual Bible as to who that name is.
Can I ask, how old is the Bible?
How old is the actual word that comes from God?
So, do you read Hebrew?
No.
Are you going to interpret it? And I don't want to get in a fight with you. I don't want to be disrespectful. That's not where I'm trying to go with this.
No.
I enjoy these conversations. My mother is a very devout Christian, and I never disrespect her. I actually had this conversation with a police officer today that is one of my great friends. My adopted mother is a devout Christian. I just like to discuss and learn. There's no disrespect to anyone. If I ever say anything ill to anybody, please message me and say, hey, did you went too far? And like, because I'm just curious.
Yeah.
Like, I don't mean any disrespect. I'm not trying to turn anybody.
Oh, yeah. No, yeah, I understand. I'm actually hearing more than talking. So.
Okay. Like, I don't want to be disrespectful to anybody. Like, so what's the difference between, a person, i.e., somebody that isn't knowing what God is, and John Smith?
What's the difference?
Yeah. So like
it-
Christianity and Mormonism. Let's
the-
let's start there.
Yeah.
Actually, let's.
The
So
difference would be the spirit that's within the person. Every one of you out there has a spirit, including me. But the only difference
Correct.
is it of the truth or is it of the lie? And
no, that's not what I was asking.
oh, well, that's just a statement. But go ahead.
Okay, so the Bible's how many?
How old?
Yeah. So how old is the Bible, and
In
is
the
there proof of the Bible being existence? The actual written tome of the Ten Commandments and John and those people that have witnessed those. Is there actually documentation?
Oh, I've heard that there is. I've never seen it myself. I've never read it myself. I mean, there are, like, for example, the Dead Sea Scrolls that were,
Whoa! Be careful with that one.
as an example. My point of that, though, is to
Well,
you
the,
know, in
well,
the
the dead,
archaeology, basically, they tend to find things that actually back
So-
up, a lot of evidence. If you want to look at it
So-
that way too.
but the Dead Sea Scrolls has stuff in there that the Christianity wants to hide.
Really, what would that be?
It's I just read about it like 4 weeks ago. My brain went white. Give me a second.
Sure. I'm putting some attribute. Let me see if this Santa might have said something else. Oh, by the way, Confused Santa, I am sorry I didn't welcome you earlier. I apologize.
Oh yeah, most definitely. You're welcome.
And my explanation for how people all over the world go to heaven before Christians is other mythologies were born from our God, just appeared in the A form that fit their culture. These are
I agree with that.
just theories, not beliefs.
I agree with that. That's kind of what I was saying, and that's kind of what you were saying, I think.
Well, see, there's two kinds. If you want to look at it this way,
Well, it's the-
within the realm of Christianity, there's two kinds of Christians. A lot of people don't know this. I don't know. I mean, it's in the text, in the actual Bible. But you have two groups of people. You have those that live their Christianity based on the law of the Old Testament. Then you have people. Then you have people that are based on not the law, but based on their faith in the words that comes specifically from Jesus Christ. So their faith,
Good night.
instead of it's basically the whole history has transitioned from law to grace and truth. That's only found in Jesus Christ, and so whenever Jesus Christ speaks, he has the direct line to the Almighty Creator, God Almighty. And so whenever Jesus Christ himself, he said it himself, the Son of Man, he called himself the Son of Man. He says the Son of Man can do nothing unless the Father shows him. So there have been times in his ministry of life on earth where he did things because his Father showed him. God showed him in spirit. And so there's the spirit factor that I was talking about. And then the others are the religious systems where they go according to the law of Moses or any other nation around the world. We have laws throughout the whole world. But there's only one source that the Creator only agrees with. It's basically his word to and through his Son. And then through his Son to and through those who receive it, believe it, and follow it. And it's not a local physical church building. Right now, we're talking about all this. They're in the invisible, in the invisible world that we can't see because of our five senses. You have demons that are
No.
I'm trying to say is you got demons, but you also have angels. See, there's some of us that are listening that are destined for what's called salvation.
No.
And that salvation is a presentation of Jesus Christ. But a lot of people don't want to choose that. But it's the truth, but a lot of people don't want to choose that.
So there, in the Bible, it actually says that you don't have to go to church, and what you just said just confirmed what I was going to say.
Exactly. Because he said, repent for the kingdom of heaven is at hand. He didn't say repent because the local Pentecostal, the local Catholic, the local Buddha, the temple of Buddha, the local. He didn't say none of that stuff.
He just says that you have to a fellowship.
He has to.
But it also.
Yeah, go ahead.
But it also says in Jeremiah 33.3, call to me and I will answer you, and we'll have a great and hidden.
Right, that's right. But when you do call to him, you have to first believe that he exists. You have to believe it in your core that he is for sure a reality, even though you don't see him, you don't hear him, you can't physically touch him, but yet he is.
So, like, what I was saying is, in North mythology, you know there's something there. Like, where we live, we have a huge northern or a Native American standing.
Okay.
And the earth, the nature is their god. They have that being
belief system.
Yes, and that's what I was going off of. I don't know what is real. Like, do I believe something created us? Yes. Do I believe his name is God? No.
Right.
Do I believe his name is something? Yes, but I'm not okay with knowing what his name is because I'm not. I can't do that because I'm not okay with knowing what his name is because I'm not okay with it. Does that make sense?
Sure. Yeah. I mean, it's a choice. It's a choice. It's a choice that.
That's not.
But see, but everyone on Earth goes by a what? Have you ever heard the word doctrine? Let me see. Have you ever heard the word doctrine?
Yeah. Well, yeah.
Let's both. Let me do it now. I'm gonna just do it right now. Hold on. Let me switch this in OBS. Let's switch it to display capture. And then really quickly pull up the this. I don't know. Can you see that?
Or
let me know.
Do we call him Yahweh or do we call him?
Let's try this. Greek. I don't know. Let's see if there is Greek meaning of the word doctrine.
I'm seeing you.
That's okay. It'll pull up. It's the video's behind by whatever because of the frames per second. I mean 30 whatever. But yeah, there's right here it says the D in their version is the word doctrine in their language is didaskalia. But it says here now the word doctrine in the Greek text is didaskalia, which is a word that simply means quote teaching or instruction end quote. It's from the
and then
yeah. Go ahead. What do you want to say?
Well, it's doctrine of the Timothy 3 point.
Right, and I'll click on that so you can see what it is. It's from the Greek word that we get our English word didactic, and I've never personally heard that word before. It says meaning, quote, to instruct or teach others. And so basically it comes down to what we are being taught. Is it, I mean, heck, there's so much teachings in our world. Whether it is the cell phone or the computer or the old-fashioned library that most people don't go to anymore. But I'm looking at this. Let me zoom in for you. I'm not sure what this is going to say. Where is it?
For many people, the doctrine is a nasty word.
Yeah. They see doctrine as that which divides believers and causes arguments within the church, Well, doctrine is not the bad guy. It says here, contentious people are the problem.
Can I
Doc,
pause you real quick?
what is it?
So, my agreement is what you just did. My problem is people disagreeing with other people and
Oh.
then different, like
I just noticed Confused Santa sent a text.
oh, sure.
What did I? Oh, he must have said something, and the Nightbot.
Yeah, I
I'm not-
did.
I'm
I
not
can
sure
see
what
that.
word, but it. Yeah, I guess just type it in a way where. Yeah, actually, when I set that up, it had to do with swear words or whatever, certain keywords.
If you follow me, and
Yeah.
you can say whatever you want.
Yeah, if you want to, yeah, yeah.
But I'm aim. You're pretty much saying the same thing I'm saying. Like,
What's that?
So when I have a conversation with somebody
Yeah.
about religion, they get really, really upset, and I don't want to have a
Like
angry
a
conversation.
right.
I want to have a conversation like me and you are having right
Yeah.
now.
Yeah, exactly.
Like I am curious. I'm curious on your side. I'm not curious on the other side. Like, I don't want to go that dark side. I want to like, but if you look up like Yahweh,
Yawin. What's that? How do you spell that?
YHWH.
Like
It
that?
is the Jehovah.
Oh, there it is, right there. That one. The YAHWEH.
Yes.
Okay, I'm gonna hit enter. See, an ancient
It's
Levantine deity worshipped in Israel and.
nope, that's not right. Yeah, that one's the same one.
Oh, okay. So what were you gonna say about this?
So that is the original name of
The name of God, like prior to the New Testament, I guess.
correct.
Yeah.
It's in 15 to 12 BC.
Yeah.
BCE, sorry. So before the Bible, yeah, that was God's name, correct?
Mm-hmm. Yeah. According to the
So-
text, yeah.
So that's before.
Or should I say according to the doctrine? Yes. Because the word doctrine does mean teachings. So
Correct. And this is actually, I believe. I've done a little bit of research. I'm not like a PhD.
Uh-oh. Nightbot did a
But-
little something with Confused Santa. Confused Santa, I'm so
Oh.
sorry. Hey, Confused Santa,
Just send it to Frog. Like,
I was gonna, yeah, there's a way I can refer him to your
oh, here we go. So this isn't being convicted in lies. This is me trying to determine the truth on a basis on hope, not those people that are condemned to hell just because they were born near Jewish religions.
Oh, is that from your chat?
Yeah, that's from Confused Santa.
Okay, is that? Oh, what did he say? I'm sorry. Can you repeat that?
I'll copy it.
Hold on. I know we have shared chat. Let me see if I can pull that up so that I can see it.
Sorry, I'm dyslexic, so.
Oops.
There you
Sorry, I'm being attacked.
Oh, holy cow! I'm being blacklisted.
Is he being blacklisted because of? Hold on.
He didn't say anything ill, or you might have a tight. Oh, kill the wolf! Kill the wolf! Kill the wolf!
Yeah, I had to. Let me
Um,
put my character right here.
I'll put it in the.
And I'm going to go into my Twitch real quick because I want to see why or what I can do to change that.
Yeah, he wasn't being anything.
Oh, it's
bad.
Nightbot. Okay, hold on. Let me see.
It-
Hold on. And I
My
have
night. That was my Nightbot too.
it was yours too? I don't know. Maybe it was because of it's a shared thing that we're doing.
That's weird. Anyways, it said, this isn't being. This isn't being convicted in lies. This is me trying to determine the truth basis on hope. That is not those people were condemned to hell just because they were born near Jew. You, so.
I think I understand where he's coming from. Right. And so that's the whole point of the main message of the Gospels, is that Jesus Christ died on the cross in order to draw people to himself onto that particular reality that did take place 2,000 or so years ago. That kind of event is what, in other words, by God doing what he did, by Jesus dying on the cross, the things that separated us from being either Jewish or being what they called non-Jewish, or another word was Gentiles, that separation, because the Jewish people had their laws and their traditions and all that stuff, they went by that, and so anybody outside of their circle was considered as a Gentile. So but through what Christ did, he took those two, the enmity that was between the two, and he nailed it to basically it was nailed. The enmity itself was nailed to the cross, so that when he died and shed his blood, and he literally died, when he was brought back to life again, for us, it's our blood that keeps us alive. If our blood drains from our physical bodies, we're dead. Period. That's truth, without religious or any talk like that. That's truth. So in his case, though, when he died and then God raised him out of that being dead, brought him back to life, it was God's spirit within Jesus Christ so that he could walk, move, talk, but it's a different kind. There's no longer blood. It's a whole new body. And that body is what nurtures and keeps it alive, is God's spirit. The spirit of God himself is what keeps him alive. It's no different than now in a way. I mean, God set us up in a way, I say, but he set us up to have this system set up where we have the blood. But once that goes, we're gone. From our human point of view, we're gone. So yeah, God did an amazing thing with that person named Jesus Christ. So, and it provides us hope. Hope. I say hope because the reality is we all die, and that's going to happen to all of us. And so, with that reality or that truth that exists and that has existed for generations, the only hope is this good news about Jesus Christ. They call it the gospel, or if you want to call it the doctrine that comes from God. So anyways, I'm trying to sum it up. I could share a whole lot, but
So
I don't want to give too much because it might confuse people. I don't want to do that.
I hate a confused Santa. I hyperfixate on things. So, were you talking about like actually placing people? Or are you talking about like like Nazareth and all that, or what are you talking about?
I changed my settings in Nightbot. I'm not sure if that'll fix it. I actually shut it off.
But if you read his message, like
I'm actually looking. Oh wait, let me look.
the monitor detected this this isn't this isn't the convicted in lies. Trying to determine the truth basis on hope that all the people condemned to hell just because they were born near Jewish religions. So, like, because they have that in Jerusalem, they have the temple.
That's correct.
So that's-
Yes.
So that is that what you're talking about, Confused Santa? Or are you talking about what AIM was talking about?
I'm actually gonna go to your channel. Let's see. There you are. Now I'll be able to read. I'll be able to read his text whenever he sends it to you. I wasn't able to see it even in the browser source. I wasn't able to see it.
It's on the very top one. It says it's the first time chat. And by the way, I love these conversations.
Well, I mean, it's needed in our day, and not a lot of people do it.
I'm gonna go back to yours because I can see you and you can see me. So, but I just
And I apologize.
No.
To you. Wait, I want to say it to Confused Santa because he's trying his best to communicate. By the way, just real quick, I don't know if he'll be able to type this, but oh wait, I see it now. He says sorry, was timed out. Confused Santa, are you following
either of us?
Jamo Frog 2003? He has a Discord channel, by the way.
We can send it to you if you want to get in this chat because we're all about listening. Like we're all, no disrespect, AIM, but we're all confused on religion because we have faith, but we don't know. If that makes sense.
Yeah, sure. Yeah.
Like.
Yeah. And that's the thing. When the knowledge is available and we try to share it, it's knocked down pretty quick. So it even,
like honestly, like if we want to sit here and have like church night,
I mean that's what it seems like.
like I'm all about it. I will. Let me figure out how to do this.
You know what? Let me see if I can follow Confused Santa as well. Okay, hold on. Let me go to my channel.
I'm in your chat, by the way.
Okay.
If you want to send them to yours.
Let me see. Hold on.
Yeah, I'm in your chat.
Okay, hold on. Looking for this one. And let me grab where is it? Give me a few seconds. I'm gonna grab, here it is, invite, and then go to this one, copy. And then I'll go over here somewhere and plug this information here.
Old guy's better at technology than I am.
I heard something. I think somebody.
Confused Santa just followed.
Ah, okay. Thank you. Oh wait, I think he followed your channel. All right, I'm gonna go ahead and put this here, just so you know. Confused this Santa. This is invitation to the Discord, and that's where Frog's at right now, and I think Willie's still here, right? Yeah,
Willie's there?
Yeah, he's still here.
Okay. I think Willie just likes his ramble.
It's interesting how here I was from Kimmy's from Willie's point of view, and he was saying, "Go to bed, old man." But it's funny how things have turned out, huh? I was definitely sleepy. I was definitely sleepy, but I don't even know how it all started. Do you remember how all this started? I'm trying to remember.
Well, you were talking about when you needed to go to bed. It's getting late where you are, and now it's like 2 a.m. for you.
Almost 3. You're right. I'll end my stream here,
Three.
I know.
but I'll watch his stream. Yeah, I'll do that. So, because he's actually on your channel anyway, so I'll do that. I mean, yeah, for the Twitch channel. So I'll go ahead and stop the screen on my
Are you
end.
gonna go on mine?
I'm actually ending the collaboration on my end, but I'm
Okay, well,
watching. I'm watching your channel.
We're on your Discord, so
Okay. Let me go ahead into
Just-
OBS.
oh, there's there's no link to your
Really?
Discord.
Oh, sorry
Yeah,
about that.
it's just asterisks.
I wonder if it's,
Words.
I think that's because of the let me see. How am I gonna do that? I know I clicked the right one though. This is here. Invite people. Hold on. What I'll do is like I said, I'll stop the stream on my end. I'm already in Discord, so you'll still be able to hear me. Let me see. Boop. And then